I'm a young activist Hong Konger who is active in current protests. AMA. Edit. Thank most of you for the support. We protesters will not give up anytime soon no matter how slim our chances are. A special thank you to the stranger who gave me a silver. I hope I've helped answering you questions. If you have any you can comment about or DM me. Hong Kong protesters will not die as cowards. Guangfu Shangang. Shi Dai Zhang.
Are you scared of what might happen?
Yes, most of us are, but we'd rather do something than nothing about it. We are the future of Hong Kong. If we don't do something about it, the Chinese government will.
What can we do to help you?
Organize legal protest or join them, send equipment or at least spread news about us. We send everyone news daily.
What measures do you take to protect your identity?
Depends on where we are. On the streets, causal wear but wear medical, surgical masks. Protest, black clothing all over the body and as you see on TV gas masks. Internet, VPNs and secret websites just for protesters. We would do anything to keep hidden.
I was just visiting HK from the States. I have never so strongly and consistently been saying, "Frack the police," as when I was there and talking about it to people after I got home. Anyway, I have a friend from Shanghai. Like her a lot, but I think she got really hung up on the incident in the airport, and now is anti-HK protesters. I don't see how the actions of a group of people could tarnish the broader movement when 100,000 people turn out. I'm curious how effective you feel the pro-Beijing messaging is in undermining what you are doing. Just like what Godelsky said, he sums up almost everything. Late to the AMA, but have you guys considered wearing clothes or holding signs depicting Tiananmen Square or any other event China is covering up? That way the Chinese media will have a much harder time recording you guys without having to do some serious editing. Oh, we did for a month or two and we even had protests about it, but as you know the mainland Chinese doesn't show live news on the protest, just clips they think are okay. What do you think about LeBron's comments? I think he misunderstood the problem on hand. Although I don't watch NBA, I'm disappointed in him, but as always everyone has their own beliefs. I saw you say you use VPNs. Do you ever use the Tails OS and its tools or Tor? Is this not possible under Chinese law enforcement? Do you think the goal is just protest for now, or is it moving more toward violence with China's inaction? Hong Kong is a special administrative region in China. We have our own laws, government system, etc. So it is possible to use VPN in Hong Kong. If you look up some of the servers from VPN, Hong Kong is one of them. How has the Hong Kong news portrayed the protesters? Some say we are thugs and morons, some say we are heroes and the real human beings of HK. Have you ever been hurt, attacked? This may seem like a stupid question, but I'm curious. My throat hurts from breathing in the expired tear gas and I've been batted by cops a few times. What could Western people do to help HK protesters and/or Chinese people working against Xi Jinping? Organize or join protests, spread news about us. What's the worst, best thing you've seen at protest? A bunch of students help each other doing homework, they even took photos, there's one picture of them holding a lizard. The worst is probably the bruises and open wounds, I'm pretty sure I saw a corpse once. I'm coming to Hong Kong next month to meet my daughter, who's coming from Israel. Is it safe? Just stay away from business districts on weekends, you'll be fine. With Hong Kong as one of the leaders in income inequality, what are your opinions on Western countries and businesses' contributions to the wealth gap? I think it's unfair, especially countries without social benefits. But even here in Hong Kong the minimal income per hour can only buy you a lunch box and our social benefits are smooched up by mainland Chinese who live in HK. What do you have to say about the recent NBA controversy? Disappointed in the Rockets and LeBron, they rather have money than democracy. LeBron misunderstood the problem on hand, but we all have our own beliefs. How long have you been supporting the cause?
ever since the first day the government announced the bill.
A. Writing an argument essay for school about this? What are your reasons for fighting and how is it affecting the entire nation? Politically, financially, environmentally, morality, and more?
Our reasons are to show China that we are not afraid, to let HK government understand we stand up for ourselves and we want them to fulfill all 5 demands. The government declared itself in panic mode but still not listening to us nor give a shit. The government and HK in total is losing a lot of money because of this. If you go to business districts, pro-Chinese government and pro-Chinese company property are destroyed. Hong Kong is splitting into 3 factions, pro-China, neutral and anti-China.
Is armed revolt a possibility?
We don't have firearms, also we don't like the government but we don't disobey all the laws.
Are the cops in Hong Kong born and raised in Hong Kong or are they transplants from mainland China?
I believe most are born in HK.
What's your opinion on how the Muslims are being treated? Concentration camps etc.
Here in Hong Kong we don't really mind having Muslims, we do our own thing they do theirs, but in other countries I feel bad for them because when Muslims speak in another language they are immediately targeted as terrorist. Like, we get America, 9.11, but not everyone who speaks Arabic languages will blow up a building.
Have you heard of the Anarchist's Cookbook? There might be some useful things in there. Also, what's day-to-day life like? Edit. Mzungu Shakabra brought up a good point. I did not fully comprehend the consequences of my suggestion. I fully agree that civil resistance is indeed key, however, it could be useful under some specific conditions, as China has been known to do some weird shit in the past. Side note, the cookbook is pretty crude but it's the only thing I found with a variety of options, not just fracking bombs.
No, I've never heard of the Anarchist's Cookbook but I might check it out. Day-to-day life is pretty much like every other non-activist Hong Kongers. Weekdays we just wake up, go to work or school and maybe do some planning on what to do in the protest. On weekends we take out to the streets and begin the protests. Thanks for watching, listening. Don't forget to subscribe.